Lex talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Woo! Happy episode 39.
39.
Funnier than 38?
What? Tell me.
39.
39. Wow.
Jeez.
First
a good
episode
one.
before we get into our 40s, boys.
Oh, I'm not
Wow.
ready for that.
Me neither.
Not even in our
30s
30s
onto
yet.
the
39 episodes up, 39 episodes down, 53,000 YouTube subscribers
Wow.
later.
Yeah, we
Thank
did
you
it.
guys.
Yep.
Shout out to the fans. We really
Wow.
appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you.
Seriously.
Love
yeah.
you all.
Couldn't
Love
be
you all.
without you.
Today we got a really good episode coming up for you guys. Today we're going to talk about how to build a dream team inside of your business. All right. I think that we are very good and poised to talk about this topic. We have built the greatest hometown dream team of all time. Very lucky and blessed to have the team that we do. Obviously, if we were going back in the 1992, 2012, basketball Olympics team, we'd kick Jordan and LeBron's
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
No
You're
doubt.
not kidding.
No doubt.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
You dunk on them.
Oh, yeah.
You dunk on Barkley. You dunk on Barkley. You'd block Jordan.
Easily.
You'd cross up Kobe.
Cross them up.
And I'm blocking the shit out of LeBron.
Yup.
Like he did in the 2016
Yup.
finals. I'm stuffing the shit out of him.
Well, I think it's about time we introduce this dream team.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who are they?
Starting off with Louie, our head of happiness around here. And my name is Appio Fragoletti, the Director of Banking Relations. And to my right,
Frankie D, CEO.
Frank Grizzly Lawando, the COO.
And I am James Thompson, the Senior Finance Officer.
Jamie.
and now, introducing
Who's he introducing?
the number one dream team in America, Lexington!
Yeah!
Almost.
Good intro.
go!
Let's go! Let's talk about it.
Louis, it's okay.
Let's talk about it,
We're here
baby.
to talk about
We're
it.
here to talk
Stay,
about it,
Louis,
baby.
stay.
T does not love you.
Let's
I
talk
do.
about it, guys. All right, so, for one, guys, it ain't easy to build a dream team.
God, it ain't.
It ain't easy to build a dream team. I think why we've been so successful at the team that we've been able to build is because we hire and we train different from everybody else in our space and in the business world kind of in general. Most people, like their typical hiring process is they go down to local college fairs, like on Long Island, that'd be like Stony Brook, Farmingdale, Old Westbury, St. Joseph's College, and they recruit the brightest and the most educated, right? The quote unquote most educated. And the second way that they hire is going to be through just simply poaching through the industry, just finding people, from their competitors, maybe offering them a better salary, more benefits, whatever the case may be. Now, what diversifies us from everybody else is that we hire from within. We hire local hometown kids. So everybody who works here typically lives within like a 5 to 10 mile radius of this office. More likely than not, a 5 to 10 minute radius of this office. We all went to either Newfield High School or Center Ridge High School. There's a select few that didn't. These two. But still like 10, 15 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
18.
So I just think the fact that we all grew up kind of in the same sort of situation and scenario, the same upbringing, the same kind of money, same type of parents, same people we kind of surrounded ourselves with, and the fact that we all have kind of like the similar like-mindedness is the reason why we've been able to band together and be so successful. I just think that we're all on the same page. We all want to achieve the same goal, and we all believe not just in this company a lot. We don't just believe in ourselves a lot, but we believe in each other as a team and the team that we built.
Yeah, I feel like that's very important too. As a team, we all have to believe in each other, down to the core.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
absolutely. And I feel like most of us, about 80% of us, were either entrepreneurs or wantrepreneurs for forever. But we all, when we came here, we saw this big picture, and it all fit all of our dreams. And to mold us from entrepreneurs or wantrepreneurs into the salespeople and salesmen we are today, I still personally feel like I own my own business in a sense, and truly, truly do. And I'm able to put my whole heart and soul into this team day in and day out, just like every other freaking person in this office is. Now, having
Oh, no. That was,
Oh, just
I was
a-
waiting just a little adjustment.
just genuine. It's genuine.
I'm waiting my turn.
Turns up.
Oh, it turns out. Well, shoot, now I'm on the spot. Now, I was gonna say no. Like the difference, like between building the dream team and stuff, it's that you get to mold it how you want. Like as you were saying, it's that we have the hometown kids. Like none of us have ever been in the position we're in until we were in that position, and now we know it. Now we do it every day. We execute upon it. It's the little nuances of building the dreams compared to like hiring a banking coordinator, hiring a senior, hiring a CEO. Like it's built in intrinsically, you know, it's nice. It's a different way to go about things, you know.
Yeah, well, we get to build it how we want it. We don't hire people who have a connotation on how sales is supposed to be, or how being a chief operating officer is supposed to be, or a senior finance officer is supposed to be, or how to run a bank room. We have molded our team to run exactly the way that we do. We call it the Lexington way.
Yep.
So when you could really kind of always keep your culture and always keep the way that you want to treat your clients, your partners, and your employees, and you could force feed that and make sure that it happens because you're training people from within. I mean, that's why we're so successful. Think about if you get a dog from the pound, or you get a dog, when he's younger. If you get when he's like 5, a dog with mileage. It's a lot harder to teach an old dog new tricks than a new dog new tricks. It's a lot easier. They don't know any better.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like if you tell them this is how it's supposed to go, then that's how it's supposed to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, definitely the way that we built our dream team is from the ground up. It's not like we picked and chose. Like I'm drafting this guy this year. I'm drafting here. I'm drafting here. I'm drafting here. No, we genuinely built our dream team from the foundation up to where we are now.
yeah.
And as we say too in all the episodes, like none of us were doing this. You had various jobs. You were a freaking welder. Like I was doing other things. Like so for us to come into the roles, like it really is it's a step by step. It's a Google search. It's a failure. It's learning it all on your own and piecing it together. Like you're building a puzzle instead of having a complete puzzle that you might not like.
Yeah, and I feel as if that's really what it takes too to really build a successful dream team. Because to be a dream team, that by definition is to achieve things that nobody else has achieved. And so if you're doing things that everybody else has done, like poaching other people from other companies and what all these other companies are doing, what recipe is going to bring you to that dream team? It's impossible. You have to craft it from the core, from the ground up, and that's exactly what we're doing.
That's true. And it's way more rewarding and fulfilling and way more grittier and tougher the way that we're doing it. It's so much easier to hire a guy who's been a senior finance officer for 10 freaking years and to have him plug and play into your business. Now, more times than not, it's probably not going to work out because he doesn't know the vision that you have for the company, right? But he's a lot more skilled and there's a lot less effort that needs to go into that guy compared to how we've had to train every single person who's came into this company. We have to put, all the management has to put in so much time and effort to catching these people up to speed. It's so much tougher, but it's so much more rewarding and fulfilling seeing a local hometown kid who was supposed to be a welder his whole life or was going to bartend his whole life turn into this badass of a sales manager. You know what I mean? It's such a cool thing to really witness and see. And for me as the owner, it's very rewarding and fulfilling.
Even in the aspect of how you were saying, like plug and play, we wind up like losing money on employees in the beginning because
big
we're
time.
like, if
Big
I were to
time.
just hire like Appio now, if I was at another company, I'm hiring you to be my banking coordinator, like it's a
You'd
plug and
ROI
play.
really
It's
quickly.
maybe a week or two, and then like you're in the flow, like took a year, it took years to build up and get where we need to be, but it's because we're doing it from the ground up, but like that's worth it. You're losing money on the employee in the short run, but you're
long
fucking
run.
gaining exponential dollars.
I think you need to pick a different example because I'm ROIing you real quick, buddy.
No, I know. You're in my eyesight, all right? But even like that, like I learned it just from my college, because the college I went to is a technical school, so a lot of hands-on trade programs, and in those, these guys are coming out and they're learning carpentry, they're learning plumbing and all this stuff. They're going to these companies and they're like, all right, forget everything you learned, you're starting fresh. And it's like, what? I just spent 4 years learning that, and like now I'm starting fresh.
Yep.
So it's a theory versus application thing. Like even with us, we can get an MBA with a finance degree, plug him in here, and he's not going to know what the hell's going on, but you still have to build those people. He just has a little bit of knowledge behind him now, So in all of our respective roles, maybe not, sales, but there's a little bit of knowledge that goes into, building the dream team. Like picking me, I'm sure you wouldn't have if I wasn't consulting for you at first, and, we didn't have all those other things, and I didn't see the vision, So just something like that.
That's true. And also giving a kid that didn't have a shot to being successful and giving them a shot to be successful also pushes them to work harder, not just for like this company, but for themselves.
Yeah.
To me, like, I don't know. I just feel like if you go to college, you just get a nice, decent salary job. Like, there's no like really like push to do something special working at like Goldman Sachs or Apple, where like you can't truly even like make a difference. Working for a startup, like what we've done and what we've been able to build, is a lot more rewarding and fulfilling. And like Appio said, everyone here is an entrepreneur. That's what this role is that you guys have all taken on. We micromanage until we don't have to micromanage. That's kind of like our way of managing around here. So you guys all in your roles are free flowing and doing pretty much exactly like what you want to do while consulting me on what it is that you want to do. So it's a lot more rewarding and fulfilling for you guys, and it makes you guys, I think, work a lot harder knowing that we're actually building something special from the ground up and not just adding on to something that's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not as special as is what we're pulling off. I think it's way more motivating, and you get more discipline out of actually having to build something.
Yeah.
And like you don't want to quit it. You know what I mean? Like we're not
Yeah.
quitters, bro. You know, like even if something bad was happening to this company, I know we would all fucking stick to it and be like, bro, like we're gonna just get through it.
Yeah. What's the next move?
Yeah, what's the next?
What are we
move?
selling
doing
next?
next?
Exactly. Yeah, we're all so invested into this company. Like we put so
Yeah.
much time and effort into this shit. It's like we ain't turning back now.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
If you told me I was selling socks tomorrow,
Yeah.
I would sell $1 million in socks tomorrow.
Yes, you fucking would. Yes, you would. And some boxers.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'd upsell some boxers.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you
Oh
would.
yeah. Package deal.
The boats have been
Yeah.
burned.
You can't just get the socks, John. You can't just get the
Wait
socks.
till I tell you about these boxers. Have you ever
How
been
you gonna,
hugged?
how you gonna walk around with just socks on?
These
Come
boxer
on, John.
briefs, John.
Remember getting hugged by your mom growing up? It's like that.
I know your wife has been complaining about those boxes.
All right, real quick, talking about boxers, I just bought Faraday boxers.
Faraday?
Yeah, they block all like EMF waves that can't go through the clothing. They're lined with silver.
Do we have to worry about EMF waves in our man region?
Yeah. Your phone's in your pocket. Your testicles are getting fried.
What is an EMF wave?
Like an electronic frequency, basically. Like if when you hold your phone to your head, like
You're
it.
funny.
I bought a Faraday hat too. You better see me walking in here with a blind
And that's
hat
how we
every
build a
day.
dream team, ladies and gentlemen. Those waves ain't hitting our
They're not hitting us.
goulions.
They're not hitting this head or not hitting that head.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Protection.
The other fun thing about hiring from the local area is, everyone's a friend or a friend of a friend. So like when you come in and you see your friend working that hard, like it motivates you to work harder compared to just some, schlep from the industry that you brought in and like he's just expecting to do his job. Like, building a dream team, you're expecting to do your job and then some.
Yes.
And that's just what it really boils down to. Like we're finding people who are willing to do the and then some. There's no clocking out. There's you just keep working, you keep grinding, and we're all going to accomplish the goal together as a dream team.
Yeah.
So like that's what I think is really special about us too. Like other people want to come work from the industry. No.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like we're just going to build people up. We're going to make them more successful than you, and we're just going to keep the dream going.
Sure.
I even noticed it just in my own role, like, because Matthew Garcia, he was a very close friend of mine before this. He's the one who obviously got me into this. And when I first got into the job, me and him were like, we're pretty similar. Like when we first started, Like we both really didn't know what we were doing. We started pretty similar times. And it was just great having that, like, camaraderie between me and him and that friendly, like, I guess you could say, like, battle between us where we would be like, pretty much going back and forth, seeing who can, make more sales, who can get more applications in, whatever the case may be. And, in turn, while that was going on, we were pushing each other to do more and making each other get better and ultimately just propelling the both of us to be where we're at today.
Yeah. We push competition. Competition's huge.
It's important.
We're all buddied
doubt.
up.
Yeah, and it's even more fun competing with your friend.
So much more fun.
Like you kind of brought up, it's a lot more fun. Like it's like competing with your brother. It's like I could almost kind of, I don't like losing and I can't stand losing to somebody, but I could almost kind of live with losing to somebody I don't know. But if I'm losing to my brother or my friend, it's like nah, it's not happening. It's not happening.
I love how we hire in classes, as we spoke about the other day.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
When
Talk
we hire
about
in
that.
classes, we hire 3, 4, 5 people at a time. 1 or 2 of them drop off right away. P words. And then you have your 2 or 3 or 4 buddies that, all right, I started with these guys.
Yeah.
If I'm falling behind, if one of these guys all these guys are doing better than me, I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
I got to step up. I got to get back to that level. My favorite duo, John Jay and Liam.
Yep.
Yep.
My favorite duo. They will be battling it out to the day that they die.
Yeah, they will.
Swear to God.
Yeah, they will.
They
Such
put
a
the gloves
love-hate
on one
relationship,
time. The
yeah.
love-hate relationship is real. But you know what? It drove them to be the top freshmen that
Yeah.
I think we've had.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
And they
Agreed.
crush it. I mean,
Definitely.
Liam, has he hit his milli month yet? I know
Yeah.
he was right there.
No,
he
was
was
right
nine
there.
950.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he was right there.
He was,
He was
right
right
there.
there. Shout
John
out
Jay
Liam.
right there as well.
Yeah.
And that battling is huge. You got to have that competition all day long.
I feel as if hiring together really does promote that competition between the people. You know what I mean?
does.
Like
Yeah.
even just with the last hiring spree we just did. You see the competition between the 3 of them now. You know what I mean? Giuseppe funded his first deal, and you could just see in the other 2 guys' eyes. They want it. You know what I mean? Like they want to be in that same position.
No doubt.
100%.
I can't believe we took 15 minutes to bring that up because I think that's so huge is doing that because I've noticed when we'll hire just one straggler or whatever, like it just doesn't seem to it doesn't seem to work out as much as it does when we hire 3, 4, 5 people at a
Yeah.
clip. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like that person just feels like almost so lost.
Yes.
And like I'm just like,
So
all these people are
behind,
so
where's their
ahead of
money?
me. You know what I mean? It's like when you're starting with 3 people at the same exact
We're never
time. It's
gonna
like
get this.
we're battling, we're battling, we're battling. And there's so many classes. I mean, there's probably like 5 to 6 different classes here at Lexington.
Yep.
You know, you, John, and Christian.
Yeah, good class.
Corey, Chow, Nicolette. You, Matt, Marty. John J, Nate Dogg, Liam. Newest one, Anicio, Christian,
and Giuseppe.
and Giuseppe.
Yeah.
And we definitely have like 2 more that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Who did
But yeah.
Motto come in with? He came in with
Motto.
someone.
He came in
Motto
with
was a
Mark.
Motto was more of a straggler, I feel like.
Oh no, well yeah, no. So like, it was like Mark and Motto came like 2 weeks after, so we could kind of group them in.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
I,
bit.
I didn't see Stinky today. Was he here?
Stinky?
Yeah.
No, Stinky's not here.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll talk later about Stinky.
But to go back with the hiring in groups, like, so to break it down, like, we have Lexington as the dream team, you know, and then it does help promote, again, with the competition or not, like Liam, John J, Nate Dogg, like, that's another dream team, you know, like, it's the sub teams like within the company that really build up the overall team, you know, like, you didn't have the Lakers without the key players, you know.
It's true.
So I
It's true.
think that's
and something that's cool too is like we class them out. So we have the freshmen, we have the sophomores, we have the juniors and the seniors. So I think it's really cool. It's like recently like Liam and John Jay moved up from freshmen to sophomores, so they're sophomores right now, and like Christian and Saz are juniors, and like you, Matt, Corey, Ryan are seniors. So yeah, then all the new guys are freshmen.
Yeah.
So,
And the classes go out and have drinks with their own respective classes.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They're all
they
buddies.
hang out more. Yeah, they hang out more for sure.
And the funny part is they hang out like that, but like it's not even like age differences. It's purely just like when you started.
Yes,
difference.
exactly.
Because like all the closers, like fucking Corey, Matt, like all of them, like they're all the same age. You know, it's there's no reason for them to not be hanging out with the young guys, other than they're just hanging out with each other. You know, it's their own teams, their own dreams. You
It's
know?
also the people you work with the most throughout the day.
Yeah,
100%. You know what I mean?
I think that definitely plays into it as well. Because think about it, if they're all new guys and they're all starting, like at least for this hiring spree, they were all started and they were all right next to each other. So that right there, I feel like brings them closer to each other. Kind of gives them like a sense of like a shoulder to lean on, that they have somebody else in the same, you know, kind of instance that they're in. And then just having them, you know, right next to them to be able to go through it together and, you know, have that camaraderie, I feel like definitely does help them out for the at least for the beginning. You know what I mean?
100%.
Each class is their own respective dream team.
Definitely.
I know, just silly thing I brought up once before, but even like when pledging, you know, like I had my pledge brothers with me, and like we pushed each other, you know, that you're standing next to that guy every night, and you know, it's a competition, you know, like, but it's a collective goal, you know, all the guys who come in here, they know it's a collective goal. Like, yes, I'm competing against you, but we're competing together to bring Lex to the top, you know. So like that's the other thing, you know, everyone here has that, they see the dream in the mind, and you know, it just helps envision the goal.
Yeah.
Like we spoke about in one of our previous podcasts, when you go through the trenches with somebody, you're bound to bond.
That's true.
You got paddled with your brothers.
I
It's a bond for life. It's a bond for life you have with your brothers.
Yep.
And now real brother-in-law.
Yeah,
It's pretty
jeez,
awesome.
yeah,
that's
oh
fun.
yeah.
Wait,
And then
shout
each
out
class-
Grizzly really quick. Shout everyone clap it up for Grizzly, the newly engaged man.
Thank you.
Congrats, Grizzly. Congrats,
Appreciate it.
Bree. I know you watch our
Congrats,
podcast now that you
Bree.
guys are engaged.
We love you,
Love
brother.
you guys. I'm just kidding. I know you watched it beforehand. Congrats, brother.
Thank you.
Happy for
Appreciate it, yeah.
Happy for you. Sorry,
and
to cut you off.
each of those classes, they go through those trenches together. They're all learning from the start. They all know nothing. They're all scared as shit. They're all sweating. They're all nervous. They're all getting yelled at.
Yeah.
At the same time, they went through those trenches together, so it makes sense on why those classes really do stick together. None of them piecing that together here, right now.
And it does break into, you know, like this too, you know, it's all kids with, you know, uncommon goals or don't know what they're doing, and you know, they find someone who's going to say, hey, I'm going to help you learn what you're going to do, you know, like you're going to, like, this is what you do. If you do this, you're going to be great at it, you know. And
agree.
that's half the battle, you know. You guys
agree.
come into here and, you know, you might not have a dream, but you know, like someone like Jibby, I actually wanted to, I'm glad you're here, you know. Your dream team and your dream board, like you just got a Tesla, you know, like that was one of your dreams.
Yes.
You know, so working part with the dream helped you accomplish your dream.
Yeah.
You know, it's all being part of the team. You know,
Definitely.
everyone has their sub dreams that they all get to fill out, but you know, the collective dream is Lexington's in business another year, and we're gonna be in business for fucking plenty more to come.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yeah, exactly right.
Coming after them all, baby.
that's it.
Another thing too is like what I always say, and I make fun of us because like we really are like the misfits of our towns.
Yeah.
Every single person who's been hired here, and like we've hired people who have been lost in life.
Yep.
So like the way that I see it is like these people have no other option but to be successful at this. You know what I mean? Like instead of hiring like an MBA grad who has all these different options to work at Goldman Sachs.
I'm on
Deloitte.
buy side.
You know what I mean? It's like we hire these kids who it's either they were going to work blue collar, they were going to sell drugs, they were going to do drugs, or they were going to be a bartender their whole life. Like that's really like there's really like no in between.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if you're going to do this, you're going to do it all the way because you had no other shot. You're not educated, quote unquote. You don't have a degree to go to Deloitte or to be an investment banker. You know what I mean? Like this is our one shot to be successful and to make something of our lives without having to go to college, without having that piece of paper. So I just think it's the people that we hire. We hire the misfits. We hire the lost kids.
Yep.
When it's like Never Land over here, dude. So like I feel like it forces people to have to go balls to the wall because this is their only option. And that's how I wake up every day. Is I go, there's no number two. Like there's no plan B ever. You can never have a plan B in life.
Those are
There's
burns.
only plan A. There's plan A only, and you go balls to the wall on your plan A.
Burn
The only way
fucking
plan A
boats.
doesn't work is if you stop.
It's true.
You
bro.
give up.
It's true. And like I've never seen anybody who gives something genuinely their all. Like there's a lot of people who are like, I gave it my all and it didn't work out. Did you really give it your all?
No.
I have never met anyone who truly put every ounce effort into something and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly, dude. And it's shown in my life. It's shown in your guys' life. It's shown in a lot of things that I've seen from every entrepreneur, millionaire, billionaire that I've watched. It's just they just never gave up, and that's what being an entrepreneur is about. It's not who's the most successful and who has the most credentials. It's about who's the last man standing.
Yep.
If you could be the last man standing and be persistent every single day, you could brute force your way to being number one and outbeat and compete the competition. Like I crush so many other entrepreneurs and CEOs because I just outwork them. I outgrit them. They have more money, more resources. They've been doing this longer, but I just want it more, and I will not take failure for granted. I will just not allow us to fail.
Wow.
I won't
Yes.
do it.
One sentence that I am so thankful that my father always said to me while I was growing up, and every father in the frickin' world should say this to their sons and daughters, is when you put your mind to something, nothing can stop you. My dad always used to say, when I see you put your mind to something, I've seen nothing stop you when you truly put your mind to something. And holy cow, how that has brought me through so many trenches time and time and time again.
I've definitely
Classic
noticed that with
information.
you. I've seen you half-ass shit, and I've seen you go hard with stuff. And when you go hard, it works out. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with life.
Yeah.
We tell kids when they start this job too. It's like, dude, like if you're gonna have one foot in and one foot out, it's not gonna
out.
work.
Yeah, no
You
way.
need to have both feet in. It never. We always say a weekend. This kid's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
I feel like it really boils down to as well, like you have to really want it. You know what I mean? Like we all see the bigger vision and we want that end goal in mind, but a lot of times, like, you know, your average person, I mean, it's not really necessarily their fault because it's what they've been trained to do. You know what I mean? Like society just trains everyone to be closed-minded and think small and not think about the bigger picture. So, you know, like when they come in here and they don't have the same wants as us and they don't have the same drive as us, it's almost as if like they don't mesh with us. But when we do find somebody who does have that drive, like Liam, for example, look at what it turns into.
Yeah.
Successful
Utter
man.
success. And what's amazing and beautiful about Liam's story is that he is not special in any way, shape, or form. Just like all four of us, he just wants it so. I see it in the kids' eyes. Like I could look a kid in the eye when they first come here, and I could tell if they want it or not. Like Liam was messed up when he first came here. We all know that. But one thing I always saw in his eyes was that he wanted this. He wanted to make a better life for himself, and that's why he's been able to be successful.
I think he's even turned it into a need. His soul needs this.
Yes,
Yeah.
needs it. 100%.
Liam's a good story too of, you know,
He's gonna be the
I
best.
heard this one.
He
It
is.
was
He
it's
is.
do someone else's. So, you know, if you just tried your hardest, try someone else's hardest. If you just gave it your best, try someone else's best. You know, that's what you did, and you stopped right there. Try someone else because they went further. You know, and Liam followed in your image, and he tried your best. You know, and he's freaking pushing forward.
Yeah, I mean the kid's here Saturdays and Sundays, so for sure, kid hustles, and I mean that's what it takes, guys, to you know just beat the competition. It's like think about it, like he's 18 years old or 19 years old, so there's 25, 26-year-olds with millions of dollars. So how else can he catch up besides just outworking them more? You know, if they're putting in 40, 50, 60, and he's putting in 80 every week, it's just a matter of time for that 80 compounds, and he's just going to crush them.
Yep,
and crush
exactly.
them, and that's exactly what's happened to him. And that's why, like I say, like, dude, you're the best. You're 22, right?
22, yeah.
Dude,
Gotta be
there's
22.
no other 22-year-old, bro, who's better than you in this space, bro.
Agreed.
No, there's nobody, bro.
Yeah.
Liam, there's no better 19-year-old than him, bro.
Agreed.
Marty at 25, 26. We are so good at it is what we do, and it's just because of the hard work that we put in it and the belief that we have in each other as a team.
Yes.
You know?
We built the dream team.
We built the dream team.
Yeah.
We built the dream team.
The utter belief that we have goes landslides. I know
Yes.
deep down in my core, I have the utmost confidence that if we're unable to help somebody, there's nobody out there that can. I
Yeah.
truly believe it. I truly do. Like I from in my heart, like
Yeah.
I really believe we can help every single client. Like
Yeah.
we really can. We really can.
I agree.
Yep, I 100% agree too. I am a God-loving and a God-fearing man, and I had a church on my desk today. I was having a discovery call with somebody there who owns a church and a child care center, as if I'm ever gonna F over a church and a child care center, right? And this man was talking about this other option that he's thinking about doing, and he doesn't want to proceed forward with our program right now. But I was giving him my heart and soul and honesty. And I know that he's going to end up coming back. It's a sad thing that sometimes people have to, take one on the chin and just to find out that they really should have turned left instead of right.
Yeah.
But, I 1,000% agree with you there. If you come to Lexington and we can't help you, all right, well, then that just means you need a couple of months until we can.
Yeah. It's true. Or
And,
find a
Louis.
co-signer.
Yeah.
Or find a co-signer.
Yeah, we can help you. Just how much do you want to help yourself?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Again, it boils down to how much you want it. But yeah, building the dream team, man, it's crazy. We take these kids. There's nothing behind the eyes, and we fill it with light. We show them the dream. It's like with Kobe, like how he would go and he would hit the gym twice before everyone else was even doing it once. He's up there 5 hours earlier than everyone else, and our guys are here 5 hours later than everyone else. So
And
it's
earlier.
what's up.
And earlier.
And earlier, yeah. Like as you said, Liam's working 80, other guys working 40. He's literally working 2 years while you're working 1 year in a year.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't spell building the dream team, I really don't know what does.
Yeah. No doubt.
It's a fucking fire organization we have here.
No doubt.
If you have a team and they're not your dream team right now, show them this effing podcast and tell them to emulate us.
Yeah, it's true.
They will mold into your dream team or get them the fuck out.
It's true. And that's the thing, too. It's like you have to stand on business, like as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as the owner of the company. Like you cannot let one person come into this organization and screw up your culture and how you want this place to run. I don't care who it is. And like if you do decide one day to, because maybe one day we might have to bring on, we're going to be a Fortune 500 company. So we might have to bring on somebody who's been, in a Fortune 500 company position before, an executive or something like that. But even if that was to be the case, you need to hire somebody like that on. You do not let them ruin the company culture. If they're not down for the ride and they don't think the way that you guys think, then he needs to get the F out. Because a guy like Grizzly with no experience, quote unquote, will do a better job because he believes in what we're doing. He'll listen, he'll work hard, and he will just figure it the F out because he believes in this company. He believes in the culture. He loves being here. It's just, that's just kind of how you got to do it. So never compromise your culture for anything. Like culture over dollars is the way that I see it because what comes with the culture will then lead to dollars,
100%.
in my opinion.
Keep the relationship, the money will come.
Agreed.
And I'm happy you brought up what you did just now because I wanted to bring that up as well. Is at what point do you start hiring these people who have been in these positions before? Like, when I saw a post today. Donald Trump is thinking about appointing
Jamie Dimon.
Jamie Dimon. Yeah, he's thinking about appointing Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase Bank, as the Secretary of Treasury. And obviously you can't just pick a random Joe Schmo who has a lot of heart to be the Secretary of Treasury for the United States of freaking America. You have to pick somebody who's there and has knowledgeable. At what point do these companies hire people that have been in these positions before and been in these situations before? When you are that Fortune 500 company, like you said, at some point we are going to hire somebody who's had that experience and can at least turn on their red nose and point us in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually once you go public because that's when you start getting shareholders and people who have say in your company.
Yeah.
And they're usually the ones who push to get people like that into the company. I mean, it happens in every single company. I mean, look at Steve Jobs. The guy built up the greatest and most successful company of all time and ended up getting ousted from it. And they needed him so bad that they ended up buying his old company out next that he created afterwards and then brought him back on and he became the CEO again. And then that's what pushed really Apple into what Apple really is today. So, I mean, how I want Lexington to go is that I truly wholeheartedly believe that I can mold everybody to be what they need to be. And I do feel that way because, I mean, I always thought, but like in the back of my head, like, you need to turn yourself into something to become an 8-figure company. And I feel like that's what I've done. Like I've molded myself as the CEO to become an 8-figure CEO when 3 years ago I was a nobody. I was just a failing entrepreneur with an MBA who refused to get a job because I wanted to build a company so bad. That's all I ever wanted to do. And what I'm going to have to do to take us to the next step is just mold myself to become a 9-figure CEO. And then the next step from there is to mold myself to become a 10-figure CEO. And then my job is to mold you guys into your positions to be able to withstand that. So that's my goal, to be completely honest with you, because when you start bringing in outside personnel, I mean, we've talked about the Apple story, a million times over. That's when you start losing the camaraderie, the teamwork, and that's when people who started and founded the company end up getting ousted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were the foundations of what was built. Now, was Steve Jobs the most mature guy for the job at the time? Maybe not, but maybe he could have worked on that, and then he could have proved to his shareholders that, hey, he is ready to grow this company. And I mean, I'm 25 years old, and I feel like if I was in that position in Apple, I feel like I'm mature enough and would have been able to build myself into that position and that role to do it. So that's the short answer to your question. I would like us to be able to always stick to the team that we have, but usually when you go public is when shit like that starts happening.
Well, we're definitely playing that Apple story at our first shareholder meeting.
No doubt, no doubt, like no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely make sure that we all have the majority of the stock.
Yes.
Yes. So that nothing like that could ever happen.
It's one
No
of those
way.
things too where like we just have such a specific culture that like you can't hire a different CEO. You'd have to find Jordan Belfort and throw him in there, and
Yeah,
he
That's
can't
the
touch
thing.
finance
That's
anymore.
the thing.
So
Yeah. That's the thing.
that's just really what.
And
it
our
comes to.
industry's so niche too, and like there's not a lot of people in our space that have gone public. So like
No.
there's not a lot of people who even really have our experience. Like people from our industry will hire like banking executives and stuff like that. And it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
tough.
the same exact thing. Like you really have to be doing this for a while. So like I think people like James and you and Corey and Ryan and you and Matt, like I think they're gonna be way more poised in 5-10 years from now than people who have been banking execs with Chase Bank or Wells Fargo and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
believe in my team way more. So
Too soft. I mean, I've even seen it within some of our own bankers that we used to use.
yeah. Way too soft. Don't have that grit. They just didn't
No.
grow up in the same place that we did.
No.
Daddy had an MBA. Daddy's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Daddy's an investment banker. They come from a crap ton of money. They just don't have the will and the might to build something special like we do. Like for us, it's do or die. Like we keep saying, it's do or die,
Yeah.
and that's why we give this shit our all every single day.
Yeah. No, I mean it's it really is do or die because if this doesn't
It's
work,
do or
I mean,
die.
I
Live or die, man. Live or die. I don't know if you've seen that in The Karate Kid. You ever see that?
I'm picturing it, yeah.
Live or die. And then he honks his nose. Honk.
But one thing I wanted to add in is just the manifestation that we've all partaken in to bring us to this point and to where we're going to bring
Yeah.
this company to. Like what you were just saying, 3 years ago, you were a failing entrepreneur. So just looking back on it, you were manifesting this moment
Yes.
for years to come. And the fact that you were executing upon it every single day and
Yeah.
rowing the boat every single day
Yes.
and all of us doing the same and all of us manifesting the same thing,
Yes.
it's inevitable we're all going to come to our goal. I mean, just for me, in my own experience, like you had said earlier with the vision board, I always from a young age, you can even ask my parents, I would always say I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be rich. I would always say this stuff, but I never had a plan. You know what I mean? I always just said it, and I never really had a plan. I always read books on investing and things like that, and that was my plan, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Long story short, wound up becoming a welder. Plan pretty much went in the garbage. But I always still had that grit and that want in my mind. You know what I mean? I wanted more for myself. And, I was reading books to try to get you know what I mean? Just in the best possible financial mindset and just all around best mindset I possibly can. I made a vision board, which I think is huge. I just made a cork board in my room, put a bunch of different photos of things on it that I want in my life and things that I want to attract to me. And just in a short period of time, just 2 years later now, I'm no longer a welder. I'm a senior finance officer at Lexington Capital Holdings, an 8-figure company. I just purchased my dream car. There's just many different things that have changed tenfold in my life just from manifesting this moment before I even met anybody here. And Liam, for example, he was manifesting this. Matt Garcia, he was manifesting this. Corey, he was manifesting this. You were manifesting this. You were manifesting this. Frankie, obviously manifesting this. All of our minds put together, all focused on the same topic. It's impossible we lose.
We
Look
can't.
at us now.
We can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's impossible to get this many young men together who all just think the same way. We cannot lose.
I'd be scared if I was Normandy.
No, I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified. If we storm those beaches modern day, it could literally just be the team of 45.
Yeah.
We'll leave the women out. 40.
For
We will kick their ass, bro.
Bring the English on. That's
Bro,
all I
bring
gotta
it,
say.
bring anyone on. I don't care. I don't care. They drink tea, we drink coffee, bro. We drink freaking coffee, bro. Coffee. All right? Keep drinking your tea, eating your crumpets.
We throw it off the boats.
Yeah. We'll throw your tea off the boats. Fuck yeah. But like,
I mean, I love the story about our founding fathers, and you know the story best. I mean, our founding fathers, how old were they? The oldest one was like
between
young
18 and
30s.
32.
The original Dream
G.
Team.
Wash was
Yeah.
like the oldest one, and it's like
20
early to mid 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
Changed
A lot of
history.
these guys are
yeah,
24,
man. Tom Jefferson
26,
wrote the
22.
Declaration of Independence like 24 years
Yeah.
old. So you in 2 years writing this country's Declaration
Crazy.
of Independence in 2 years. It's nuts. That's just what kids like that could do. I mean, also that people died a lot earlier back then.
That was like,
You know?
us at 50 is them at 22.
But that's just a great example and a great story. It's like we had so much less resources, so much less money, so much less influence, so much less people, but we had a smaller group that just all just believed in one goal, and every day we dreamt it, believed it. While the British Parliament's out there thinking they won the battle.
Yeah.
It's like the tortoise and the hare all over again. They're sitting there taking a nap, snoozing, while we're storming, attacking
meanwhile,
them at night.
Weren't you saying a couple weeks ago, like they signed the Declaration of Independence before they actually
Yes.
won? Like
Yes.
that is badass in itself.
Yes, everyone thought the war ends in 1776. I think it was like 1782 the war actually ended. They wrote the Declaration of Independence and broke free from them years before that.
Badass.
Badass. Yeah, they knew. They just knew that it was going to happen. They created their own states before they even had their own states, their own government. So
Hey,
definitely
by the
is
way,
cool.
we're not a part of you
The most
anymore.
badass revolt of all time, and we're very lucky that we're able to,
Live
whatever.
through them.
Stand on their ground
Yeah.
that they fought for.
Yeah.
Second most badass revolt is Lexington breaking into the industry.
Yes,
baby.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we teach our guys too to measure time in years. I measure time in decades. I was talking about this in our morning meeting, but the hardest part about starting something like this or starting a business as an entrepreneur is that everybody's right in the beginning. Everyone is right about you failing, about you not being successful, about you not being, famous yet, about you not being a millionaire. They're right. And by week 2, they're right. And by month 1, they're right. And by month 6, they're right. And by year 1 and year 2 and year 3 and year 4 and year 5, they're right. For me personally, it took 6 to 7 different businesses to be successful. I'm 25 years old. I opened up my first one at 18. So for 7 years, people were right about me. Because Lexington I feel like we really got successful once we hit the 8-figure mark. Like that's when I was really, really proud of what it is that we do. So for 7 years, people were talking about how they were right about me. And I went to sleep every night knowing that they said that, but not giving a flying fuck, right? Because I measure time in decades. Because I know Lexington's going to be a Fortune 500 company. I know we're going to be billionaires. I'm patient. I know if I just do the right thing and I work every single day as hard as I can, I work 100 to 120 hours a week, it's inevitable that's going to happen. I just suck if I can't put 100 to 120 hours a week and not take us to the fucking promise that I suck, Just go work for somebody else at that point, guys. I'm sorry
guys.
I failed you, But that's the way that I think of things. And I picture the future. Like a lot of people can't see behind Mount Everest because they just can't picture it. But it's like if you really knew that you could be a millionaire or a billionaire by just doing this every single day, would you not do it? We would all do it. Yeah. So that's how I feel. I feel if I work 100 to 120, I will be successful. We will be Fortune 500. We will be number 1. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk will be asking me for advice every single day. You know what I mean? They'll be calling Jim like, "Can I just get a meeting with us?" Like, nope, click.
I really need a loan.
So yeah, measure literally.
That's
So
actually
measure time in years, guys. Not months, not days, not weeks. Years. It takes years to become successful. It's not an overnight thing.
One thing I wanted to add in, similar to that, I actually saw a Mr. Beast podcast. I'm sure everybody watching knows who Mr. Beast is. When
We're coming after you, Mr. Beast.
We're going to be there, don't worry.
Yes, sir.
But when he was first starting off, he obviously, just like everybody else when they start off, the naysayers, they're right. And his mom, in the podcast, he was talking about how his mom was telling him, like, you should go get a job, like, you made $200 all month, and then, like, pretty much that's when he went hard. And I don't know if you guys know about his story or not, but he had like a video where he just sat there and he counted to like
the
whatever.
Extremes.
Yeah, like he was
like
just sitting there, like like crazy numbers, just sitting there doing the most outlandish things that like nobody's ever done on YouTube. And sure enough, next thing you know, within like a month or 2 months, he had a $20,000 month from YouTube. He moved out. He told his mom, like, he was pretending to go to college at the time, and he told his mom, like, yeah, I'm going to college, but meanwhile he was making YouTube videos. Next thing you know, the hard work paid off. He was doing 18 hours a day, 15 hours a day, whatever the case was. Next thing you know, Mr. Beast is where he is. So like that's just the fact of just nonstop every single day, that grit, like Frankie was just saying, that 100 hours a week, like it's impossible to not be successful.
It's true. Because this is the easiest time to ever be successful, in my opinion, because everyone's such a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, remember that video by Joe Rogan recently? Not Joe Rogan, fucking Dana White.
Dana White,
Which
yep.
is like, if
Which
you
have to
have
be
even a
remotely-
remote piece of savage in you in our generation, you could just fucking crush everybody that we've grown up with, because they're just all just have a horrible way of thinking and
Yes.
bad outlook on life and very negative upon everything. And we don't. You know what I mean? We don't. We literally don't even care about being happy. But we're still so freaking happy because that's just the way that we feel. You know what I mean? Like, bro, men shouldn't be happy, bro. But we're so happy just to do what we're doing every day. We love building shit, bro. We love building stuff. Like, that's rewarding, fulfilling. That's what men have always done from the dawn of time. We provide, we protect, and we build. And there's nothing else we've been put on the planet to ever do.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's true, bro.
No, I agree.
Fuck my happiness, bro. I got a fucking job to do, bro.
Yeah, if
Fuck
you-
that
You
shit.
take it back to the caveman days, you know, that's...
Dude, you think those motherfuckers were happy going to fight bison and not having sex with their wives for a month and finally coming back with frost feet and losing a leg? But hey, babe, I got this bison and you're good for another month. Peace. Let's go have action. I'll be back a little later. I got 1 foot now. Coming back, lost an arm. Well, at least I got 1 foot, 1 arm. Babe, I still love you. Thanks for the bison. You know, and you do that for 30 years and then die of malaria. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a good
like,
life.
dude, these motherfuckers live to 85 years old, eat McDonald's, watch movies, don't do anything with their life.
Complain.
And complain.
Life doesn't get easier than it does
Like,
today.
damn it, bro. That's why I feel like it's just like so in our heart that we just have to do this, bro. We have to do it. We were all put in this place and we all gravitated towards each other to do this. We were all meant to do this. We were all meant to find each other and to do this, to pull off the unthinkable.
No. The energy of this dream team attracted it. You know, I know
Yeah.
you're a big fan of the energy component. You know, what you put out there, you bring in, and
Law of
you know,
attraction, baby.
Yeah, you had a great law of attraction on your side, and you brought it all in right where it had to be. You know, you built your dream team, and you didn't even know it at first. You know,
Yeah.
I know you knew it, but you
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
and if a couple of the beginning guys aren't here, you know, you would have thought
Yeah.
that they were in the dream team,
It's
but
true.
you know, like you attract what you need.
It's true.
You know, and it built itself out the correct way.
And as the entrepreneur and as the CEO, that's why you just always be good to people throughout your whole entire life. Because my people is obviously what makes this company. You guys are what run this company. I think of the ideas, but you guys are the ones executing upon it. You guys are the special ones. Imagine if, because we all had an old business partner once that screwed you and you over, and that's how I met the both of you. So if that was me who would have done that to you, you guys would have never have entrusted in me to take on these roles and work for this company. If you would have heard bad things about me, you probably wouldn't have wanted to come work for this company. And it's along with everybody else. So it's always important just to be a good person and always do right by people. And like, you don't think about that shit when you're even in like elementary school, middle school, high school. But like, I was just always good to people. Like the people who were mean to like the nerds and shit like that. Like I'd be like, bro, stop. You know, like I was always that guy. I was always very nice to people, always respectful, and just always like was just pushing success onto people. And I feel like that's what's allowed me to just build good people. Like you said, I was building my dream team before I even knew that we were all going to be together doing this. And then once I was ready to do this, I knew who I was calling, bro. I knew when me and Appio weren't talking when I first started this company, but I always knew that I needed to have Appio here. I would literally think about that, bro. I swear to God, bro. Like I knew some time had to, go because you were probably still associating me with that asshole. You know what I mean? But I knew
You called me
eventually.
a few times, and I was like, no.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I knew I had to have him. Me and Marty had a falling out as well. And I was like, dude, I need to have this kid on my team. And it's the few things that I did in life that was wrong is like what I really regret. There's like obviously a few people who aren't the biggest fan of me, and I regret that because maybe they could have been on this team doing this special, ride with us.
Yeah.
But they think about me a little differently. So always in life, just always be good to people because you never know. You
your
never
dream
know.
team's gonna be.
You never freaking know.
Don't burn the bridges.
Never burn your
Burn the
bridges.
boats.
Never burn bridges. You never know. You never know. Always be good to people. Always provide a helping hand. And the last thing I want to say and why, so 3 big takeaways that we've had so far is that we've built a misfit, motivated dream team, right? We have our motivation, our mindset, and we hire in classes. I think those are the 3 biggest reasons why, but a 4th little mama's stirring the sauce here that why I think we're also very successful is because I hired entrepreneurs. You guys all obviously know what an entrepreneur is, right? It's somebody who is the entrepreneur of a company. I don't hire worker bees. That's not the people that we look for, right? We hire entrepreneurs. So you guys are entrepreneurs inside of this business. And I think that's the biggest reason also why we've been able to be successful because I've hired entrepreneurs into my business. You've owned multiple businesses. You've owned multiple businesses. You're very entrepreneurial in your mindset. Corey's owned multiple businesses. Chow's an entrepreneur in his mindset. Matt's owned businesses. And there's probably like 3 to 4 other people who have owned businesses. Remy owns a business. T's owned her own business before. My sister's always had that entrepreneur aspect.
Marty.
Your sister's always had entrepreneur access.
Marty.
Marty.
dog.
Our whole team, dude. Our whole team for the most part. And if they haven't, then they've been able to learn and grow from the entrepreneurs of the company.
Yes.
And they've all become entrepreneurs. Like John and Christian, they are entrepreneurs at this company. They might not have thought that they had that entrepreneur mindset in them, but they do now because they've learned and watched from you guys.
And you watch it grow too. Like they'll be a little quiet in the beginning, but then a couple months in, now they have ideas.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's the best because like that's when that switch turns on, that entrepreneur switch. You know, like hey, boss Frankie, I got this idea, and you're like, oh, okay, you
It's
know.
true.
So yeah, no, those 4 key takeaways, man. That's build your freaking dream team
Yeah.
from within.
It's true.
I could feel us about to close out, and I wanted to mention this last part.
Yeah.
If you think that you have a dream team and you're working 40, maybe 50 hours a week, you do not have a dream team. And if you just scoffed at me saying that, this is probably not the podcast for you.
Do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Way better.
Build your
And I'm
dreams
surprised you
better.
even have a company.
Do someone else's better.
Yeah, I'm surprised you even have a company. And you owe it to yourself, to your lifeline, to your bloodline, to your team,
To your bloodline.
to work hard. And if I didn't work as hard as I did, like I have to work 100 to 120 for you guys to want to work 60 to 70. Imagine if I worked 60 to 70, you guys would barely be scratching 40. That's how shit goes. You need to lead. So if you want people to do stuff for you, you have to do the same exact shit. From the ground up, like fucking taking out garbage. You know what I mean? Taking notes, learning. Like I learned more than anybody in this company. You know what I mean? A lot of these other CEOs like, I don't need to learn. You know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a millionaire. Like, no, it's like I'm going to learn every single day so I could crush every other single person. And that entails you guys always wanting to learn and wanting to get better and improve. And I always make sure that I fail in front of you guys and I show that I'm human, I'm normal, and I fail probably even more than you guys because I take more shots at failing. So that's cool for you guys to want to fail. And then we learn from it and then it never happens again.
That's what I think my favorite part about how you built your dream team is that it's all everyone loves. Like I love to learn, you know,
Yeah.
like it's just here, learn this. All right, cool. And that made me that little bit better in the dream team scale.
Yeah,
You know, so hiring people that want to learn it's a blessing.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like also just having you like leading the way, setting that standard, and like you're the CEO. Like you could easily just pack your bags up and go home if you wanted to, take a day off. Like reality, you own the company. You could do what you want. But by you leading the way and putting in that time and that grit, that makes it trickle down the line, and everybody else just absorbs that from you.
Yeah.
And like you were saying before, like I don't think anybody else could be in your shoes. I truly don't think so, because the passion that you put inside of all of us, for everybody watching, if you're the business owner, you need to do what this man does, because if your employees, like Appio was just saying, are only working 40 hours a week, your dream team is only working 40 to 50 hours a week, you did not inspire them enough. You did not touch their hearts enough, and you're not passionate enough about what you're doing. And if you're not putting in the 100 to 120 hours a week, then you're not going to be where you want to be. If you want to be average, then fine. You know what I mean? Work your 40, 50 hours a week, but don't expect greatness and expect to build a dream team if you're not going to put in the work and lead the way like this man is.
Expect your chubby wife, your bitchy kids, and a one-story ranch, 2-bedroom with bunk beds.
Yep.
Expect that.
True. Anything amazing in life, like we always say, has to be hard to get to.
Yeah.
You're not have an easy road to greatness. It's going to be hard. If you wanted to create the most perfect individual, as in our sons one day, if we wanted to create the perfect son to be the most perfect man and perfect grandpa one day, what would you put the kid through? I know we're going to be millionaires, but we're not going to give this kid everything. We're going to put him through a lot of bullshit.
He's gonna drive a '97 Civic.
No doubt. He's getting
gonna
my old
work at
Camry.
McDonald's when he's
going to be just
13.
walking. We're going to be holding hands, just walking, and I'm just going to push him. And I'm going to be like, get up, get up, get up. And my wife's going to look at me like, what'd you do that for? That's life. That's life. He's going to fall down, but he needs to get up. And I'm going to grab him, and I'm going to pull him up, and I'm going to say, I'm never doing that again. I'm going to push you next time, and you're going to get up yourself.
16?
Boom, baby, boom! You think you're hot shit, kid? You think your shit still there? You think you're popular? Captain of the football team? I'm the captain of this motherfucking household. Boom, right in the nose. But thank you for the kind words before. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
And that's why I freaking go as hard as I do, because I want to inspire you guys. I want to better your guys' life. And as the CEO and as an entrepreneur, you got to really care for your employees, and they have to know that you care for them, and you have to be here for them, and you have to do sick shit to build a really good company culture and to because a lot of guys will try to like show that they care by like just doing stuff. It goes farther than buying things for people, bro. It's the passion that you put out and just talking to them about their life and just seeing how things are and just always being for them when times are bad is just like really like the most important things. It's easy to be there for people when times are good. And it's hard to be there for people when times are bad.
Yeah.
When they really need it.
Stupid
when they really
example,
need
but for that snowstorm like 2-3 years ago when we were all living in Belterre, and you and I, like, we helped each other shovel out each other's parents' houses, you know, like
No one else was helping us.
no one else was helping us, you know. It's not like, hey Grizzly, like, you know, happy birthday, I got you this fucking Rolex. It's like, oh cool, thanks Frank, you know, like I'm indebted to you because like we helped each other out in the family aspect, you know what I mean? It's like that's just another part of building the dream team. You know, you're doing something no one else is. I could have called 10 other friends and be like, oh dude, I can't get out, but we got out.
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
Always
And
remember.
in the bank room, it was literally just the other day. Like, I know that I treat everybody in the bank room right because Casey brought me in homemade ice cream the other day. Like, yeah, I might buy our lunch once a week, but she brought me in homemade ice cream. Oh, I got to get an invoice paid. Let's wrap this up.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Anyway, guys, that's look at that company culture right there. Look at that. Look at that grit. 9:30. What is it? 9:30, right?
9:30 on the
9:30 alarm. Yes, sir. Customer awaits. Got to care to the customer. But guys, I thought this was a badass episode.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
This was
I
really
definitely
good.
think so.
Yeah, this
I
was
think
really
inspire
good.
some
Thanks for
people.
coming on, James.
Without a doubt.
You
It's my
crushed
pleasure.
it. You crushed it.
Thank you, boys.
I think we'll be seeing you a lot more on here.
Perfect.
Let's talk about it.
I'm excited.
Yes, sir. All right, guys.
Episode 39.
Episode 39.
Thank you guys
For
so
the books,
much.
baby.
Next time you
Like,
see us, we'll be in
follow,
our 40s.
subscribe.
Baby.